Thank you, Mr. President. I usually don't speak on issues that outside City Council, but there was an article in the newspaper today that made the few hairs still on my head stand up, and I have to. I felt I had a comment. Talking about an article talking about House Bill number 1947. That's a bill that would give victims of abuse to the age of 50 instead of 30 to sue their abusers or the institutions that employed or supervised them. And the story relates how apparently the Catholic Church, and I'll state real fast that I'm Catholic, okay? The Catholic Church has worked real hard, apparently through the coordination of Archbishop Chaput's office, to aggressively go after any legislator, particularly Catholic legislator, that voted for this bill. The bill has passed the House, is now awaiting passage in the Senate. Now, I know some people might not like me saying this, but when I saw this story, I quickly thought of the Academy Award-winning movie of, I guess, just last year called Spotlight, where it was a story about the Boston Globe and their expose on clergy abuse. And there was I thought, a pretty moving scene in that where the actor Mark Ruffalo, the character he was portraying, who was Catholic, who was also talking to other reporters that are Catholic, expressing his frustration that the paper wasn't moving fast enough on this issue. And he yelled out, it could have been me, it could have been you, it could have been anybody. And I guess I relate to that because as a Catholic growing up in the 60s, it could have been me. Luckily, for me, it wasn't, but I know somebody that it was. And this is a very, very heart-wrenching issue to have to deal with if you were a victim. Oftentimes, you internalize it for a long time, from what I understand. I saw the effect it had on this gentleman. I didn't know him that well, but I knew him well enough to see what it did to him. Giving that person extra time to try to work all this out and then get proper justice, to me, is a fair law. And to try to say, as apparently has been done, that somehow you're betraying your faith by being against this bill just seems terribly off base. For example, State Representative Martina White from Northeast Philadelphia apparently was told that a priest told her aide that she was not welcome at some events because she was in support of House Bill 1947. So the only thing I can say to Representative White is, don't be discouraged, you did the right thing. I hope the Senate passes the bill, and I hope this becomes law, just speaking for myself. And at the end of the story, there's a quote from Representative Nick Miccarelli, and it's one of those things that I would like to say I wish I could have said. He states, I quote, "I would much rather be chastised from the altar than to be damned for not allowing justice to be done," unquote. And let me just add that as a Catholic, if the church right now is going after legislators on this bill, but if they choose to widen their scope and go after Catholic office holders who support that bill, the name is Greenlee, Greenlee. And to still represent Councilwoman Reynolds Brown's line, when they print that name, they can put it in bold, underlined, with exclamation points. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilman.